Hello there, and welcome back to Vijudea. Yes, that's what it's called. Nation-States of Vijudea. Let's see what the Kingdom of Komnenoi? Let's see what they're getting up to. Long live the king, of course. Your people are spending their hard-earned money on quite a balanced mix, really. And they're dying of heart disease. Ah, very good. Very good. Heart disease is a very good way to perish undesirables. Oh, well, there's a beautiful flag. Let's see our glorious, glorious nation. Look how beautiful it is. The weather is snowy. Everybody is happy. 107 million of us now. You cannot stop us now. Anyway, let us get to business. We have 4 issues to attend to, and I'm going to start with the second, a big fracking problem. Natural gas extraction has been thrust into the political spotlight after the energy industry proposed utilizing hydraulic fracturing to boost the production of shale gas. After weeks of protests, a crowd of lobbyists and environmental protesters have barged into your office and demand that you finally make a decision. I know nothing about shale gas at all. Any opposition to hydraulic fracturing has been born out of ignorance, claims Shale the Love lobbyist Dorothy Strange after tossing some impressive looking pie charts on your desk. If we further hydraulic fracturing, we can finally be independent of foreign natural gas. Good, I do not want to be dependent on foreigners. Do you really want to continue paying dictatorships like Maxtopia for their expensive oil? Just think of the advantage producing our own natural gas will give us. Look at the charts that clearly show how many jobs this will create in rural areas. We should be encouraging fracking operations and cracking down on those environmental terrorists who would be happy to send us back to Stone Age. Yes, they are terrorists, quite clearly. Protesting this sort of utopian idea of being independent is terrorism. Fuck them. Throw them in a cage. Let's see what the next debate says. I don't think you understand the magnitude of these environmental issues, says Jake Butler, the organizer of the anti-fracking protest movement. No fracking way. Fracking can pollute the air and contaminate groundwater with toxic chemicals, which will end up in millions of people's drinking water. Weren't you guys paying attention when fracking operations caused all those earthquakes in Blackacre? Never mind that they're on a fault line. We must put an end to fracking and start investing into green energy sources like wind, solar, and tidal power. We will never run out of those clean energy sources, but we will run out of clean air to breathe. I like this. If you do not know, I run my house off of solar and wind power back in the real Cape Breton. It really is great. There's no view pollution with all the electrical wires coming in from where you're hooked up to the grid or whatever. It's just, simple solar panels on the roof, and it gets me more than enough power than what I need. It is an expensive investment, though, which is a shame, but it'll only get cheaper with technology. So I like this. I like this. There's always room for compromise, chimes in Natalia Harelko, one of your top aides, famous for diffusing tension in your office. We obviously can't ignore the benefits of fracking, but we can't turn a blind eye to the impact it would have on the environment either. Why not allow fracking, but only in areas of Cape Breton where there are no major populated areas? I hear that the land in northern illegal border across a mountain range the land in the northern illegal border across a mountain range is just ripe for hydraulic fracturing. There is a legal border crosser preservation area nearby, but it's not like they're going to be protesting. Fuck the illegal border crossers. Illegal border crosser sanctuaries have been taken over by hydraulic fracking. Oh, fucking hell, let me say it again. Illegal border crosser sanctuaries have been taken over by hydraulic fracturing sites. Oh my fucking god. Oh, that is brilliant. Defence Force went down. Anyway, let's go on to the next issue at hand. Bus drivers say no to double-decked death traps. After several tragic bus accidents across Cape Breton, bus drivers have started a strike until safety standards have been raised. Every morning I step into that thing, I wonder when it's finally going to fall to bits, grumbles Ethan Gillingham, a bus driver. The lights don't work, half of the seats are either vandalized or missing. The top deck smells like something died there, and something has died right at the back. We need more money to improve our buses. It's that simple. If you don't do it, then more people will die. Alright. People always want money, whines Justin Mitchell, one of your financial advisors. And they always want guarantees. I'm willing to bet every single shekel on me that they're making a big fuss about nothing. The strike's no big deal. We can always find plenty of other people willing to take the job. Public transport is a financial black hole anyway. There's no profit in it for us. If someone really wants to go somewhere, they drive. Withdraw some of our public transport funding and let them have enough money to buy themselves a car. Yeah, why not? Lower taxes, don't provide services, do it themselves. That sounds to me, says another of your financial advisors who just happens to be walking past, like a stellar reason to do away with the public transport system altogether. The only people who really lose out are the poor and disabled, but there's no profit in them either, so it's a win-win. Yes! This is who we need to go with. Definitely. Let us just read the last one. Now. There's no need to be quite so gung-ho, says Patty Sulu, a city planner. The public transport system is vital for cutting down congestion and pollution within urban areas. Less vehicles on the road, less fumes. You with me so far? What we need to do is put a tax on car use within the cities and promote our mass transit. That way everyone gets what they want and cleaner air to boot. So am I going to make a profit if I force everybody to use my service? Or should I just lower tax? Nah, fuck it, let's try and make some profit here. Cape Breton's heavy congestion charges are the bane of motorists' lives. Good. Oh, would you look at that? The snow melted. Lifespan went up 2%. That's not terribly bad. Issues. Vote for none of the above. Ooh, dictatorship. A loose coalition of political activists running the gamut of the political spectrum has started a petition to add none of the above as an option on every ballot, so that a voter can reject all candidates if they feel none of them represent a viable option. If none of the above wins the election, a new election with all new candidates would have to be held. I like that idea. I really do. It's a simple matter, really, says left-wing activist and former rock star Grace Gutierrez. Sometimes when you're voting, all the options suck. Why then should people be forced to hold their nose and vote for the lesser of two, or even three or four evils? Adding none of the above to the ballot would ensure that the people have a choice at all times, even if that choice is to reject the choices you have been given. This would have gone quite well in the recent US election. People were brainwashed by the fake news into thinking the good guy was evil, while that the bad person was good. So, that is clearly not a biased statement. So, if they had a none of the above, I'm sure both people voting for either party would have voted for that. That would have been fucking funny. See that win, you'd get a totally new candidates. That would have been brilliant. Adding none of the above to the ballots makes absolutely no sense. Contributes Conservative political pundit Lilwell Nelson. This person is clearly Welsh. Those who want to run for office have already put their names on the ballot, and if none of those options suit the voter, then that's too bad. Instead, we ought to prevent this sort of problem and limit the number of options. Sure, few people can run, but that will eliminate costly runoff elections completely. Fuck it. Let's just put none of the above on there. Cape Breton's reclassified to a right-wing utopia. Fuck yes. They should become nightmares due to voters persistently rejecting candidates. Good. Vote for the king. Intelligence is up a lot. Political freedom is up. Government size, barely. Taxation, pacifism. What's gone down? Weaponization, ignorance, authoritarianism. Oh, no, that's good. Issues. Brazilistan, go boom. You decided to deal with the crisis in Brazilistan by launching a wave of nuclear strikes. A whole wave? Hoo-hoo. When you give the order to launch the nukes, your general briefly leaves the room. The moments tick by. When he returns, he simply nods once. Birds in the air. There are almost 24 people around his table, including some of the most brilliant minds and fearsome personalities in Cape Breton. But none of them speak. 3 minutes until impact. You expected more activity, but there's nothing to do. There aren't even any gigantic computer screens tracing the path of the missiles. It's beneath you, you suppose. Your job is not to track the flight of missiles, your job is to simply decide, and that's what you've done. You've decided to annihilate another country. You look around the table at your advisors and soldiers. Some nod back at you reassuringly. Some won't meet your eyes. Not everyone will agree with you, of course, but it's not their decision, it's yours. The general leaves the room several more times. Finally, he returns. It's done, your general says. It's done. Glorious. Brazilistan has officially been wiped off of the map. Very good. I am so pleased that Brazilistan will no longer be an issue. What was it they even did? They kidnapped a few hundred people to work in diamond mines, wasn't it? Well, that's clearly worth annihilation. That's definitely not been blown out of proportion that Brazilistan has been wiped from the face of the earth. We should do that with more nations for minor transgressions. Yes. Nuclear, of course. The nation is weighing the price of victory following a nuclear strike. Illegal border crossers sanctuaries have been taken over by hydraulic fracturing sites. Cape Breton's heavy congestion charges are the bane of motorists' lives, and elections have become a nightmare due to voters persistently rejecting candidates. Very, very good. Well, this is going to be a shorter video due to the last issue not having much of a readout, but I hope you do enjoy these series. I have been very much enjoying this. It's great to role play and satire the fuck out of this. It really is brilliant. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. If you do want to join the group, there is a Discord link down below. But I would prefer if you were active and if you started a brand new nation. Try to role play within the sort of personality the group has, and you'd fit in perfectly fine. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.